All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our joint team call with several teams around the company. We're super grateful to join forces with y'all. And we're Sam and Vandy Flake. And we're real excited to share what we're doing on the call tonight, our training. We're going to go over some of the main steps of the business: databasing, inviting, third party, presentation, follow up, and close. I mean, it's just some of the basic stuff of the business. But if you're like me in the beginning, especially, I didn't know how to do all this. I had never done this business before. I was a school teacher. My wife worked for a marketing company. And so it can take some time. So to start out, I'm going to talk about databasing. And if you're like me, when you heard that word, it scared you. Anybody out there get scared when they hear that word, databasing? And to be honest, when I came in, the people who brought me in, they didn't know about it. They didn't teach me that. None of us did that, to be honest. Like we we just kind of got started. And I actually wrote that down. I was writing some notes on what I was going to talk about on databasing tonight. And you know what, I actually wrote one question that I want to talk about. And that question, because you can think of, there's all of these different ways of getting names and different things like that. And I'll touch on that. But I think more than anything else, and if you're taking notes, you want to write this down, write this down. Who do you want to bless? To me, I think that's the best question for who to put on your list, who to share this with, who you're thinking about. And in the invite, and someone else will talk about that, but it's one of the best things to do is just say, hey, I was thinking about you. I can't get you off my mind. And so if, in fact, right now, if you have a pen and paper, or you have your phone, your notepad out on your phone or on your computer, who do you really want to help? Who do you want to bless? I'm not saying they'll do it, not saying they'll be interested or anything like that, but real quick, just take a few minutes and write down, like, even if it's one person or if it's 15, but write down every person who comes to your mind of who you want to bless, and possibly even right now, there might people come to your mind who really do need something. There could be a reason they're coming to your mind. So just take a minute real quick. I'll just take like a minute and a half and just real quick write down everybody who comes to your mind who you want to bless. I'll give you just a minute. Let's go 15 more seconds. Okay. There's the thing I said I was going to touch on real quick is there's memory joggers that you can find, and they talk, who'd you go to high school with? Who did you go to college with? Who did you, who have you worked with over the years? Who did you know growing up? Who was your dentist, your doctor, your next door neighbors, your friends? Like there's a lot of memory joggers, things like that. But honestly, you know, just keep an open mind. And as people come to your mind, give them a call, reach out, or put them down. And that's kind of like quick. And there may be others that are way better at databasing and that kind of thing, but that's just my quick tips on databasing. So Debbie, are you ready to go next? We're gonna, guys, this is Debbie Cross. She's an amazing friend and leader. Pro 7 out of Florida. Been doing this business about as long as we have, and we're super grateful to be associated with her. So she's going to talk about inviting. So if you want to put a heading for inviting on your notes. So Debbie, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Let's start off with, I don't have much to recognize. We had so many people that were really close to the pool, but no cigar. But, you know, I had a lot of people that were doing not the 500 or the 5 people, but they were doing the 4s. I had some that were doing the 6 and 7, but they didn't have a distributor, so they weren't in the 1% club. So each one of you guys out there that are working and really putting people on and enrolling and showing them our business, congratulations to all of you, because each one of you, that's part of what we do. And the incentives are just to help us maybe take a step up on it. But congratulations to everyone that is working at it and putting any kind of enrollment on. I hit the 1% club, was all just one off of the pool. But again, whatever you do is more than if you hadn't had a goal. So be sure you're goal setting. I want to piggyback on what Sam said. Just thinking about telling somebody that you thought about them and that, you know, it came to mind is huge. A lot of times people just don't express themselves that way, and this is a business about caring about people, and we need to let people know that. So I really, really like that. So my invite is very, very simple. I realized that the invite, if you can't do the invite, then you never get to the follow-up, or you don't ever get to the close. So I think the very most important, first, you've got to have your database, like Sam said. You got to know who you're going to reach out to, but then you've got to know, what are you going to say? And when I got involved 9.5 years ago, there really wasn't a whole lot that we used to say, other than I've got something I think you need to know about, unless we wanted to get off on a tear and talked about too much, which is a lot of times what we do when we're new. We're excited. The more we know, the more we want to share with them. But that's not how the business grows, really. It is, we're just trying to find out who's interested. And I know I drug people along. I just knew they had to want to do this, but guess what? They didn't. And so I burned up a lot of my time, and I burned some bridges probably too. They didn't want to hear it. It wasn't their time. So when we ask for an invite, it is something very simple. Like I said, mine has always been, hey, I've got some information I think you need to know about, or I just saw something I think you need to know about. We're all going to get, what is it? How are you going to deal with that? We can go into, oh, it's I did it. It's NRF2, it's nuclear factor transformer 2, blah, 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 blah. And because I learned how to say that. And that person has got deer in the headlight look, okay? They don't want to hear about something that is way off base. So if we can just bring that, what is it, back to something simple. And for me, it's, hey, it's really important, and I think you need to know about it. Probably one of the most important things I learned was I don't have to answer people's questions when they say, what is it? Because the first thing that they will generally do is write it down, and then they're going to go Google it. How much are they going to find out about that? Not much. They don't even know how to do the research. They don't know what PubMed is. So I try and keep product name and company name out of my invite, because all it's going to do is create more questions. So mine's simple. What is it? It's something really important I think you need to know about. Well, what is it? What's the name of it? If they say, what's the name of it? You've already said too much, because they shouldn't know if it's a product or a service or what it is. It could be, I found a great bakery. Keep it that generic, because our job is not to drag them in and really beg them to come in. It's just show them the information and see who's interested. So my follow-up is pretty, I struggled with that hugely, because I was in sales before, and I was a very hard closer. I didn't have to go back too many times. And we know in this business, I screwed up real big, because it takes 7 or 8 times that we get back with somebody before they make a decision. Only 2% of the people say yes the first time they hear it. So just know that your job is to listen to a lot of no's before you hit yes. And you're going to have to follow up 6 or 7 times. And the reason I struggled with it was because I thought I was bugging people. I thought I was, aggravating them. And so what I would do is I would wait longer and longer before I showed them the video, before I would reach out to them. Well, what I found out over time was half the time I waited so long that people forgot what I showed them. If you show them something, a video real quick and get back with them within 24 hours, they'll usually, when you say, what'd you like about that? No, it could be, well, whatever it is, they have an answer. But if you wait days in between, guess what? My answers would always be, oh, that was cool. Yeah, that was good. But they honestly didn't remember what they took a look at. So for me, the struggle was picking that phone up and asking for them to, on the follow-up, what they liked about it or didn't. And all it does is make it worse for you, struggling with waiting to see if somebody's going to answer the phone. And I used to get so upset they wouldn't answer the phone. Guess what? They could be busy. Or they wouldn't get back with me. I'd leave a text. I'd leave only one because I was like, wow, well, they probably didn't like it. Well, I'm just going to bug them if I call them right now. And we all get into these grooves where it would be time for me to say, okay, you got to reach out to them today. And then I could go, well, it's about lunchtime. It's about noon. Everybody's probably eating lunch right now. And then I'd wait and I'd go, wow, it's really need to reach out to them. But, it's about 6 o'clock. It's about time for dinner. I don't want to interrupt. We have all these excuses that we can manufacture for ourselves. Guess what? Everybody doesn't eat at 5 and everybody doesn't eat at 6. Our job is just to reach out, see who's interested in what they looked at and not be attached. And that is the very hard part, not being attached to whether they liked it or not. Might not be their time. So invite, make it simple. I know after I was in a couple of years, they came out with all of these, paragraphs that you were supposed to regurgitate to somebody. And it was like, it wasn't me. So make it you and be excited. One thing I learned from Carrie Dickey is on her follow-up or even the invite, she uses voice text. And I really like that because people can hear your voice. When they're reading a text, hey, I found something that was really interesting. I'd like for you to see. That is way different than them hearing you say, hey, I just got some information that you need to know about. When can we connect? It's very different. So let's try and use the technology. I know it's helped me a lot. To follow up, do it ASAP. For me, I can do it within 24 hours. So if you want to increase your business and your volume, then just increase the number of people you reach out to. So that is what, don't want to take up too much time, but I hope we see everybody at Orlando. I'm so excited that we've got our team going there and going to get together. So thank you guys for the time tonight.
Awesome. Thanks, Debbie. Guys, this business is awesome. Those are some amazing tips there. One thing that I, before I jump into going to talk about third party next and how to use third party and why. But one thing that I've been challenged to do recently by a leader is to set daily goals. And honestly, I do 5 days a week. I might do a Saturday sometimes. I always take one day off. But we do goals of reach outs. We do goals of, so daily goal of reach outs, of IPAs, meaning income producing activities. That's going to be an invite, a follow-up, a presentation. Those are income producing activities, because if we just train ourselves all the time, it's not good. And then some personal growth, something personal growth wise. And it's been amazing how it's helped me and blessed me, because I saw that before that I was doing this, and we have like a little messenger group of accountability. I saw that I really wasn't doing near as much as I'm doing now, because we're reporting every night. Just pick a couple people and do a accountability with them. So third party validation, like if honestly, like I honestly didn't do a presentation for like 5 months, but in 5 months we had rank advanced, so a couple ranks. And what's interesting to me is that, like, even though I didn't do that, we were still growing our business. How is that possible if I didn't do presentations, but we grew our business? It's because I let somebody else do the presenting, do the talking. I invited and I would ask someone else to talk. And then that's on the job training. It's an amazing thing. Third party, there's a couple reasons for it. One, it builds validation. It builds credibility. In the beginning, people didn't know me as a product person or anything like that. I mean, I grew up on a farm and ranch. I was a school teacher, did construction. They knew me in those places, and also business. I hadn't done any big business things. So even on the business side, it's like, why are they going to respect me? Why are they going to really listen to me on product or business? So if you could have somebody else doing the talking, or, today we have videos and things you can use. I mean, still, I could put in person or Zoom, face-to-face stuff, still better than recorded videos and things like that. And also, face-to-face. Can you hear me okay? I thought I heard somebody.
We need a mute on somebody.
All right, we'll mute them. So you want to, it's still that voice connection, or it's on the phone, do a 3-way call. There's a gal in Sisters, Oregon, who built a Pro9 business, and the majority of it was done on 3-way calls, a town of 500 people. So a lot of different ways to do the business, but third party guys use that to validate, to build credibility. You don't have to do it. It's your business. You can do it how you want, but like, it's a huge tool to use somebody else. And when I would go to an event, sometimes I would find a person who was in a career, that I might be talking to somebody in that career, and then you can use them as a third party, or they knew the medical knowledge really well, and they could talk about that. Just tonight, a chiropractor called me and said, hey, we're not on the same team. Can you do a 3-way call for a school teacher who is looking at doing this? And I said, sure, so we help each other out. So that's my talk on third party. And now we're going to jump to you. Yep. Okay, now my wife, Vandy, is going to be talking about the presentation. So.
Okay. Musical chairs here, musical chairs. So yeah, I've been trying to keep up with the chat. There's a lot of questions. I hope is the sound still good? I got a question. The sound wasn't good. Okay, said yes. So, all right, guys, we've had some great things. The fortune is in the follow-up and the invite. Nothing happens without the invite. But then eventually you're going to build a team, and you're going to have to start presenting yourself. And there's 3 key parts of a presentation. It's your story, and you need to figure out how to tell your story in a minute, a 5-minute version, and a 2-minute version. Get your story down, because there's going to be times when people ask you to share your story. And it was funny. We were on a call, and Carrie Dickey, they had this one gal, they asked her to share her 1-minute story. She went on for 10 minutes, and Carrie Dickey finally stopped her and gave her some coaching right on the call in front of everybody, but helped her narrow down her story to the most specific things. It's your pain point. This is the pain I had. This is what I found. And this is my hope for the future, or this is what the result was, depending on where you're at for your starting, so that's your story. Then you want to tell the company story. Why LifeVantage? What is so amazing about LifeVantage? And then it's, how do I get paid? Because that's the most important thing. And the reason we tell our story is because people are asking, is this real, and can I do it? Those are the most important things to answer in your presentation. And now I'm going to pass the mic to Joe, who is going to do the most important part of these steps, I think, is closing, because we don't get paid if we don't close and sign people up. So we'll pass it to Joe, and then we'll do some recognition.
Awesome. Thank you, Vandy. Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Okay, excellent. So I apologize. I'm in my vehicle right now, unexpectedly. But anyways, guys, are you kidding me? All this information, these golden nuggets, right, that we've been given by Sam and Vandy and Debbie is just been amazing. I'm trying to take notes right here in my vehicle. Also, I don't have my list of people that either rank advanced or that got points for different things with me, because I'm, again, unexpectedly had to leave. But I do want to talk to y'all about closing, and I think it all ties together, right? This is all an entire process, what we're doing here. This isn't just about the invite, isn't just about, databasing or the presentation or the close. It's the entire process. So I want to start with mindset real quick. I want y'all to understand that none of this will work for you if you don't get your mind right, if you don't truly do three things. And I like to keep things simple. I'm a simple person. And I think simplicity is key when it comes to success and really just in life in general, but especially in this industry. If you can find ways that you can relate to keep it simple, it's going to help you, right? And for me, it's three things. And this is how I prepare myself for the close. Number one is I make a decision in my mind mentally before I even reach out to someone. Okay, I'm going to go through this entire process. And at the end, I'm not going to let this go. I'm not going to get off the phone. I'm not going to leave the conversation without actually closing. And I'm going to explain to you the close, right? But without closing. So I've already made up my mind. I'm going to go through the entire process, right? Number two is I make a commitment to that now. So I don't let my fear, because we're all afraid. I'm going to lead Pro 7. Let me tell you what, I still have fear, okay? I think it's a natural thing. It's okay. I'm still afraid at times, right? I get nervous to ask people for something. And, so I make a commitment to that, right? I have to commit to following through with it, with actually closing, right? Then third is I take that, right? I take that decision and I take that commitment, and then I just start kind of building up my posture, because you have to posture up when you're talking to someone that you know, love, and care about. I don't care if you've known them for 20 years or if you've known them for 2 weeks. You have to build up that posture. You have to really believe in what it is that we're doing here, right? So that you can actually have that confidence and that posture, right? Especially for someone who's new. Guys, I had never done this industry before. I'd never even heard of network marketing before. So I had no experience, but I did know enough to know that I truly believed in what we were doing and how we were doing it. And Sam mentioned something earlier about think about the people that you truly care about, the people that you want to bless. Well, I tell people all the time, you want to serve people. You don't want to sell people. Guys, no one wants to be sold, but everyone would love to be served. And by closing someone, you serve them. And this is how. This is all coming full circle here. In order to close, once you've invited them, once you've created your database, you decided who you were going to invite, you got your mind right, you've given them the presentation, they've seen some information, you've been able to share all this stuff. Now what do you do? Well, I'm going to tell you what, at the beginning, what I would do was nothing, because I was so freaked out. I didn't know what else to do. I'm like, okay, so now what's next? I'll just wait. And like Debbie said, I waited too long. I would wait a week or 2 weeks. And if they didn't call me, I would think, wow, they didn't like what they heard or saw, when in all reality, it was just people are busy. Life happens, guys. Maybe they even forgot. They loved it, but for some reason, life happened. And now here I am waiting out of fear, right? So now that I posture up, now that I do those 3 steps, before I finish a conversation with someone, if they're truly someone that I know, love, and care about, if I truly want to serve this individual, what am I going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask them or tell them what I need from them. And this is exactly what I say personally. And again, like Debbie said earlier, make it your own. Okay. You want to make this your own. We're all different. Right. So you want to make it your own, make it comfortable for you so that you'll do it more often, right? You're not going to do something you don't feel real comfortable doing. So try to find a way to make it more comfortable for yourself. But I ask people, I'm like, listen, now that you've gotten all the information, and I'm so glad you did, one, thank you. I thank them for taking their time to truly listen and take in the information that I shared with them, because they mean a lot to me. And then I let them know, listen, now that you know what's going on, now that you have this information, I need you to do something for me. Okay. I want you to go ahead and try these products because I love you, care about you, and I know they will benefit you. I want you to try these products for yourself. Let me know which ones you'd be interested in. And, I'd like to get you started. Now that would be from a product perspective. I tell them what I need them to do. what I would like them to do as their friend, as someone that I know, love, and care about, right? I want you to try these products out for me and tell me what you think, right? And now if I'm talking to someone, say another business person, and I want them to truly take a look at this business, I've given them all the information. Now I'm going to tell them, hey, listen, now that you have the overview of what this is, what I'm doing with this, and my vision for the future with this, I want you to partner with me. That's why I'm sharing this with you. I want you to partner with me, and I want to do this with you, right? We do stuff together all the time anyways. I'd rather do this with you, right? And regardless, I'm going to do it with or without you, but I'd rather do it with you. So what do you think? Where do we go from here? So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to close. And that is the close. The close doesn't mean they're going to sign up. It doesn't mean that they're going to buy your product. The close means that you've given them the option. You put the ball in their court now. Okay. Now you wait. And now you don't have to say another thing because you've sincerely told them what you wanted and how you felt about that. So what did you do? You served them. You didn't sell them. Now, if you go on and try to convince them how great the products are and what they're going to do for them and how much money they're going to make and all this other craziness, well, guess what? That might all be true, but now you've just tried to sell the person that you used to call friend, right? The person that you know, love, and care about. No one wants that. Serve them instead. Let them know what you want. Sincerely from the bottom of your heart, I'd like you to try these products, please, right? From me, or I'd like you to partner up with me and let's go do this thing together, right? Let's go make a big difference, one person at a time. So hopefully that helps you with the close, guys. Again, all the information tonight has been amazing, and I hope that little nugget helps you.
Awesome. Awesome, Joe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you guys, we will recognize Joe's team next week, or we'll drop it in the chat for those that rank advanced and everything else. You guys, life happens. I've done so many of these in the car. Went, oh crud, it's Wednesday night. I got to jump on, and I wasn't where I would need it to be. So it happens. Life happens, and I, have a whole bunch of notes. I've been taking notes and dropping things in the chat. You guys take a minute and just drop. Thank you, Karina. Just drop some of your favorite nuggets that you got tonight in the chat for us, because it's great to be on here. I'm going to let Debbie go real quick. She's going to share Kai Hayes' list of everyone who's rank advanced. I know the Philippines are. Do you have that?
No, I thought Sam was going to do it.
We can pull it up. Hang on. If I can find the list. I've got so many lists sometimes.
Yeah, I got a list. I printed it out so that I could see it, but it's in the other room, I believe.
Okay. Do you want me to go? Let me go see if I can pull it up real quick. Where's Kai's text? Guys, you don't have to be perfect to do this. We don't, we all mess up and stuff too. I'm going to start with my list real quick while I'm looking for the other one. So well, first of all, you guys,
I'll go get mine.
What? You'll go get it? Okay, thanks. All right. I'm going to give you, I want to recognize Faith McKinney and Long Gray Line Leader. They both double dipped in the pool. Also, Pro 9 Daisy Goodwin, you guys double dipped in the pool and hit the top 1% club 3 months in a row. And it was just awesome. Also, Sam Flake hit the bonus pool last month, you guys. It was the last month to do it. Nicole Mosk and Kamali and Chanel Hughes. Sorry, I'm trying to look at these. Sometimes we got some Hawaiian names and sometimes we got some Filipino names. So it could get a little crazy. So I appreciate all of that. I also wanted to recognize Kamali, Faith, and Daisy for being in the top 1% club. You guys, the 1% club is you enroll one distributor that month. You have at least one person make a second month order. So that's like a customer or a distributor that you signed up the month before, and you attend a monthly training event. Okay. So that is a huge, huge thing. And it's such a great, it's a great thing to strive for, because those things are three basic things, but if you do them, they will push you to the top 1%. So Debbie, if you have that list, I'll let you go. And then I think we have a couple questions. So we'll go with that after that.
Okay, well, you guys know how I am with pronunciation, so I apologize in advance. We'll start with the 1% club. This is in Kai's team, qualified in January. Eleanor McBall, Valerie Bear, Michelle Laguerre, Kai Hayes, Madeline Celadon, Ramon Burnett, Esther Ribaldo, Marina McCarrig. I'm sorry about that, McCarrig. And Cherry Valmatter. Those were the qualifiers for the 1% Club. And we have some points for the Croatia trip. And now you need 250 points to be able to go. And we have a person that has got 202, Eleanor McBall, 182 points, Valerie Bear, 160 points, Pepino Valsaro, 159 points, Rut Otaveras, 139 points, Michelle Laguerre, 137 points, Jennifer Tunitz, 129 points, Kai Hayes, Madeline Saladong has 119, Rolando Victoria has 108, and Robert Duran has 100. I think there's going to be a lot of people going to Croatia. I think that is super, super exciting. And one of the things that is exciting is we have these small, I can't say Croatia is a small win, but when you do something monthly, then that's what happens is the rank advance. So they have been strong at, chipping away at every day, adding to whether they're a 1% qualifier or they're adding up points going to Croatia. And that turns into rank advancements. So they have some great rank advancements this month. In January, Valerie Barr, she hit Pro 4. That's $100,000 in volume every month. $10,000 in volume every month, which will add up to $120,000 over the year. That's huge. Pro 3, we know that's a foundation point in this business where we've learned some skills. We're not afraid to ask for some questions. And we've learned how to deal with some objections. So a Pro 3 is somebody doing $5,000 in volume every month. And that's Kevin Celandong, Roy Backstaller, Josette Bacchus, and Irma Lazo. Pro 2 is somebody that is coming up the ranks. They have learned some skills. They're doing $2,500 in business every single month. And that is Elijah Battaller, and Lila Wolf. And I apologize to everybody on how I totally messed up your name, but we thank you for doing the hard work.
And congratulations, everybody. That is so awesome. Give yourselves a shout out. You guys, if you see them in the comments, give them a shout out.
Congratulations.
Big shout out to
guys.
Kai's team that's just tearing it up.
Oh yeah.
She's just doing her work.
Doing the work. The Philippines is awesome. They've had some struggles, but that is so awesome. So you guys, thank you for being on. There was a couple of questions if someone wants to raise their hand.
I saw a couple questions. Some people were asking, what are the wrong words and what are the mistakes that we made?
That's a good one. I made some comments in the chat, but Debbie or Joe, what are some mistakes you made in the business that you would want people to not do?
Oh, do y'all want to go another hour? Well, let's keep it simple. Here's the deal. I just said way too much. That was it. I said way too much. I was so excited and I didn't know any better. I said way too much. And I think less is more, guys. And with all the resources and tools that we have now, let's just continue to be the messengers, right? Let's share information. Let's serve people by sharing information with them. Period.
I agree with you. I said way too much. And again, the more we learn, the more we want to say. So yeah, I was wrong words or the name of the product, LifeVantage, they'll just look it up, or the name of the company, LifeVantage or Pro Tandem. I did that way too much until, I was, deer in the headlights with people and I'd be saying the word Pro Tandem. And I had people that actually would pick their phone up and start Googling it while I was talking with them. That's when I realized you need to shut up because they are not going to get this. I even had somebody when I was showing them an ABC video, they picked their phone up and started Googling Pro Tandem. So
Oh,
just know that we're gonna say too much even when we try not to, and that's why I won't say the name of the product. Because if I say the word Pro Tandem or anything of the products, they're gonna say, well, what does that do? Or how much does that cost? They haven't even seen and have it be validated for them yet. We're not trying, or when we answer those questions, we're trying to sell somebody. But what we're actually trying to do is see who's interested in information. So I stop using the words that's going to make questions happen. And like Joe said, we say too much. And a lot of times it's because we're excited. Just learn, you're going to get to tell them, just it's going to be later.
Yep. Don't let your invitation turn into a presentation. So.
oh yeah.
I would add on that too. Don't worry about being perfect though either, because then you won't ever do anything. And the worst invite is the one that never happens too. So.
Okay.
Perfect.
And Candace had a question. So Candace, do you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
Yeah, hi. With this, yeah, I just have a few questions. I'm trying to remember them actually. So like I invited a friend and I was able to invite her on a Zoom meeting. And yeah, when I said I was going to follow up the next day, she messaged me and she had COVID, so I couldn't really bother her. So it's been a while. So I don't know how to get back with her. The others, yeah, so I'm guilty about like not following up right away. So yeah, so if you don't get the follow up right away, what do you say? Like, how do you get back basically on
I
what
can
you're
take
supposed to?
that.
Apologize for not getting back with you. You say, gosh, I apologize. I just got busy and I wanted to make sure I was able to really have the time that I needed for you. So I know if it's been really a long time, if it's been a month or something, a lot of times they forgot what they saw. And I just say, you mind if I send you another piece of information? And I send them something that's maybe a little bit different. But if it's not different, it's okay. I cannot tell you how many people looked at the ABC primetime and saw it 2 months later and 5 months later and said, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. Now I know they looked at it, in my app, it showed they opened it, but life happens, stuff just too much happens. There are people working 2 and 3 and 4 jobs and they forget. The brain can only hold so much stuff at a time. So don't be surprised when somebody says, first time I've seen this.
Okay.
That's
And
when you
then,
know it's okay to tell them over and over.
okay, thank you. Well, I have another one. Yeah, so I've also tried saying, there's something I want to tell you about. I found something and I really need you to hear about this. And then the next question would usually be, what? And then I clam up.
Well, one thing I started doing was telling people I'm busy. So I would be like, hey, I'm in line to pick up my kids, or I've got to leave in just a minute, but I found something I want to talk to you about. When do you have time that we can sit down? And when they say, what is it? Say, I got to go. Let me get you on my calendar, but then you've got to shut up and get off the phone. And that's my problem is I've got someone there. I want to talk to them a lot. So things like that or even just be honest, I want you to see it the way I saw it. When do you have time? And it's hard. It's a skill that takes time to learn, but, and it's practice. Practice makes, you better, and and it takes time, and you're going to fall on your face. But you know what? It's funny. Sam did one to his cousin's husband, and he wrote back kind of a real short email, like, don't bother me. I'm a doctor. I don't want to talk to you about this. And anyway, a couple months later, it bothered Sam for months. Sam sent him a text and apologized. He didn't even remember. We think people think a lot more about us than they do. So sometimes I just, if I look and they didn't respond to the invitation that I sent them on a text, maybe I'll send them something on Facebook Messenger, so it's a different way, or ask them a different question, and give love back. And sometimes people will be like, oh yeah, I still need to look at that thing. There's a gal on Instagram that wants me to book something, an appointment to chat about, doing something with a trainer. She has texted me every single day for 3 months. And I've only responded like once every few months. What is it? What's, when do you want to meet? How do you want to meet? Anyway, it's funny to me. It's almost become a game now to see how long she's going to keep following up. It's just, to me, the dedication. I want to write back and be like, hey, can I hire you? Because she's got that dedication. But, keep going. Sometimes you're just looking for people that are ready. And I followed up with a guy for 3 years. I know other people that invited him. And finally, one day I called him and he had asked me to be a reference for him. So I called and said, hey, if you're looking for a job, have you looked at this? I had to wait until he was ready. No, it was 7 years. 7 years. He was one of the first people I invited after I saw the ABC primetime because I thought of him and his family. 7 years later, before he tried the product, before he would even try the product. And then I got him to come to Elite Academy, but he still never did anything. But 7 years of following up, loving on somebody, keeping that relationship. And you're waiting for when they're ready for it. And I love Joe's close though. Would you do something for me and try this product? Is such a powerful question to ask at the end.
Okay. And then I have another question, if that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording, and then we can go. Just so it's
Okay.
not so long for